some chess moves are being made in this hobby. It's no secret that Fanatics took back the WWE license, as we just talked about in the Prism talk that we talked about, WWE Prism. And now, as of today, which is April 6th, happy birthday to my wife, they are grabbing the UEFA soccer license as of 2024. So there is some serious chess moves being made from the Fanatics camp towards Panini to start tearing them apart as far as what licenses they already hold. It's gotta be, kind of scary to Panini, who holds the NFL license currently, but that will expire. They also hold the NBA license, which will expire. And World Cup stickers, that's got to be under the radar too. Big news, guys. What do you think?
Interesting to see what the play is. I mean, we've kind of we were sitting here talking about like WWE, I think a couple weeks ago when Topps reacquired that. We're like, that was a big move because that was one of Panini's, that was probably their biggest acquisition they've made since maybe UFC. UFC was a big one. And that was right around the time when like Fanatics was coming in, playing big, like picking up like all the license, all the major sport license. And to see them come in and get that soccer, everybody kind of was like, well, they got WWE and they got the soccer license. Soccer with like the World Cup coming around and all that. Like soccer usually gets a substantial boost around this time. I think it's a huge play. And man, I mean, what do we have with Panini? Like, right, we have the collegiate license, which I think they're going to ramp that up. I think they're going to make that
that may be the only thing they have.
And then you have the World Cup, which I don't know how is like the World Cup and obviously the UEFA, two different license.
Seems
but
like it.
I don't know how much you can produce of the World Cup. Can you only produce it the year of the World Cup?
Yeah, and then I'm not sure. I think so.
Yeah. And is that a license that could be expiring after this
you
World
won't
Cup?
know what players are on that team until then anyway.
Exactly.
So you can't even make it ahead of time.
And you actually, I mean, I think they're doing the qualifying right now. So you don't even really know exactly which countries. I think actually it just ended. I think US just qualified. I think it just ended. So now you could start producing. Essentially at least the countries and probably for the most part the rosters, because those rosters were on the qualifying teams.
Sure.
But you don't have all of Europe. I think the UEFA, I mean, you get to use like all of the European teams.
And
so.
Cody, what's the terms of this deal? What does this stuff say?
So basically, Topps is taking over the UEFA Euro license in 2024. They will provide, this comes from Sports Collectors Daily, also saw this backed up on ESPN and other pretty reputable sources, providing exclusive stickers, trading cards, and collectibles connected to UEFA Euro 2024 in Germany, as well as the 2028 Men's Euro, the 2025 Women's Euros, and the Nation League Finals. It should be mentioned, just to really drive the point home, that this is a pretty big deal. Panini has had the the sticker license, really is the most iconic thing in Europe since 1977.
That's what I was just
money.
Gonna,
Yeah, and the stickers is
that is
there.
a substantial moneymaker for them.
It's the nail in the coffin for Panini, because Panini is, before any of us knew them for any type of sports cards or anything like that, they've been for decades a sticker soccer company. That's where that's what they built their company off of.
Yep.
So Fanatics came in and just took them out back.
Well, I think it says a lot. Yeah, it says a lot that the big push was Jose Mourinho was basically saying, I'm putting together this sticker book. Like, they were really going hard on the sticker book. The news, from what I'm gathering in Europe, is like, this is a massive, massive deal. Like, it almost feels like this is the European version of Fanatics getting the MLB license, where it's like, whoa, like Topps in baseball is like, is a connection, is a partnership that you thought would never ever stop and never ever end. This, again, the Panini still has World Cup, so there's still that, but it has that same vibe right now, I think, for European collectors.
And you're right, but they exclusively mentioned, they didn't just do trading cards, they mentioned stickers, which I think is bigger things are yet to come, or at least being trying to work on.
I was reading something straight from Topps on Twitter. This goes into effect, I believe, 2022 springtime, right now. So I think what this is saying is that it's going to be ready to go for the UEFA Euro, the Euro Cup in 2024, which is like basically second to the World Cup, right? When it comes,
because they have the Copa too, right?
They have the Copa, and that I think is South America. But when it comes to like the Euro, that is like one of the major
I mean, and without
major events.
Without looking at it, there may be, because if you had guys that played in Bundesliga or the Champions League or whatever, they may still have Euro cards, right? So Panini was still benefiting by having like Jadon Sancho. So there may be a guy, and I don't know offhand because there's so many soccer players. This may cut out some of the players even being on a Panini card. You know what I mean? Unless it's on a World Cup card, maybe. And maybe like I know some guys that their teams, they're really good club wise, but they're not in a country that doesn't make the World Cup.
So I mean,
so then you have a situation where maybe you don't have a Ronaldo card anymore, or you don't have a Messi, because now those licensors are owned by one conglomerate. So
I mean, let's do another quick round two. I mean, if you're at the table and you're at Panini, like what is your move right now? What is Panini's next offensive move as a company?
I'm probably not smart enough to figure that out, but I mean, you want to use the whole table. They're down to 20 chips, and there's a guy over there that has 5, 10, 20 million in chips.
So your next hand's like an all-in.
Pretty much, I think. And I love the guys at Panini, and I want them to stick around. I wish there was a way to make this all work out. But you got to think you got to think that this is a chess move for other licenses.
Panini has a lot of IP that is extremely valuable in this industry,
but we're whittling it away.
Yeah, but the name National Treasures, and right now the brand Flawless, the hottest product that we've been talking about it every single week on this show. That has substantial value to it. Now I know what you're gonna say is that how much value does it have when you can't make anything using those?
Right.
But it still does have substantial value. But what I mean, if there is an offensive move to be made out there by Panini, what is it? Like, what other license are out there that we're not thinking about that they can possibly get into? And I'm at the same way. I'm sitting here.
I almost have a feeling. I mean, because we also read that
esports.
Maybe.
Can esports be a? I know Panini does have a license with esports. Could esports be something that's huge?
I mean, I also feel like esports kind of like, I feel like 4 or 5 years ago we're like, here it is, the esports moment, and it never actually happened.
I mean, you have the NIL stuff. I guess you could cultivate that.
NIL and collegiate again, and you guys mock the racing license, but it's still holding strong. It's
Absolutely.
there. It's there. It's a product that they're going to be able to put out using the National Treasures brand, using the Immaculate brand, maybe even using the Flawless brand.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like I think we also read, didn't you say that there was another seed investors?
There was
investing into Fanatics Collectibles.
Yeah, there was another round of investing, a $1.5 billion round of investing. The biggest investors being the NFL at $320 million, I believe. And now because of that, the MLB also did, both the Players Associations for MLB and the NFL. I want to say NBA as well. National Hockey League is also getting in on that round.
Oh God,
10% of Fanatics is now owned by sports leagues, owners, and players associations.
So you gotta think that the NFL is like, well, when are we gonna start seeing a return on our investment with that, right? So
they will in a substantial amount when or if Fanatics goes public.
Well, yeah,
that is where the money train comes.
But when you
rolling
cannot
down.
produce football cards at the moment, you cannot produce basketball cards at the moment.
But nobody else can.
Well, there's one company that can right now.
Right now, but I think you're seeing all these offensive plays by Fanatics to where I mean, what other? I know we don't want to say it, but at what point do we not have a choice, or Panini does not have a choice to basically be like, how much?
Yeah,
like
I literally was just gonna say that because
how much?
This,
but also at that point, I mean, Fanatics would truly own every aspect of the collectible hobby, except hockey. But you saying, Cody's saying over there that the NHL, and they already have a deal with like the apparel for Fanatics.
Merchandising already goes. That's the thing. That's the thing that Fanatics will always have a step up, and even the college stuff as well, because they have merchandising deals already set up with these guys. So there's already relationships there with the leagues. So it's an easy like, hey, look, you already do this business through us. Why don't you just throw in the trading cards as well? Make it a one-stop shop. Life will become easier.
Yeah.
And I get it. These leagues, players associations, they probably look at it and are like, a lot easier to deal with one voice than to deal with multiple voices.
Yeah, 100%. And I almost think, and I have no insider information, this is just my brain wandering, that there has been some kind of like, hey, Panini, we know you hold the license, but can we start making stuff now for football, for basketball? And I don't think those conversations went very well. Because, I mean, why buy the WWE license? I know WrestleMania was going to happen, and then really push the information out to the public if you can't even make the cards. You're actually kind of benefiting your competitor that way by saying we can't make the cards yet, but we're gonna announce it.
Do we think Panini pivots into a digital collectible?
They could do that.
Do you think that
well, we've seen the $100,000 Luka Logo Man sale.
Is that a
NFT?
Is that an offensive play? Is going just all in on the digital collectible and trying to work out a deal with those licensing? I don't know if that works any different for digital or physical.
It's just sad for, Topps is been kept in place, and that's great. But when the Topps news happened, it's just you have this big Goliath. I mean, you have a Goliath that nobody financially can compete with. And then, like, to add to Cody's point, they already had the relationships. The memorabilia has all funneled through them. You go on Fanatics, you go to NFL Shop, or you're on 49ers.com, and that goes to NFL Shop, which is a Fanatics run, and they distribute that. You buy Nike from there, you buy Reebok. They're all running through Fanatics. So like they already have a huge portion of sales for fans. And so that's just, the card companies could not compete with that amount of revenue that was already being generated from them. I mean, it's insanity.
But it does, it gives you an idea of what Fanatics feels that this category is going to achieve at some point.
Right.
They would not be throwing all this money and resources into a losing venture. Like, this is going to be a winner for them. We just don't know what it's going to look like, but there's too much money, too many big players involved for it to be a loser. It'll be a winner.
Yeah, and I've said this many times on this show. We don't talk about the bubble bursting anymore. Remember there was a good solid year or 2 years where we're like, the bubble's going to burst. The bubble's going to burst. Ohtani, we can't do it next year. There's not going to be an Ohtani round. You know what? Well, we had Justin Herbert and we got Burrow. It was a good run. It's just bubble's going to burst.
Yeah, we don't.
Prices can't do that
Actually,
anymore.
what we haven't heard for a while, but probably besides us, is talking about the poor rookie class for football next year.
Yeah.
We haven't dwelled on it. I remember in 2013 that well into 2012, we're like Andrew Luck, RG3, Russell Wilson, like Trent Richardson, like amazing draft class, right? But we were already prepared, like doom and gloom for 2013. Like there is nobody coming out. EJ Manuel, Geno Smith, like they're not going to drive products, and products did tank. They tanked throughout the whole year. There was no product that performed well.
16-17 basketball.
We haven't talked about that this year at all. I mean, I know we're still well into 2021 products, and there's still a lot of football products. I feel like they just started coming out. We have a lot of 2021 to go through,
and we have the draft coming up at the end of this month.
The draft coming in, so we are definitely going to have some overlapping in football this year with the collegiate stuff for 2022,
which is going to be good, in my opinion. the overlapping.
Well,
draft
we're
years.
seeing it in basketball, right? We seen it a little bit in basketball.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just finished the calendar year
But
of Melo.
I feel like any other time in this industry, we would have been like, well, football cards next year.
Yeah, you're right. Not a lot of people are doing that.
Better hope for a good basketball rookie class or somebody to pop from baseball. And we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I think the products are going to sell.
And and this is going to be a perfect segue into your guys' segment is baseball. We already know is going to be around with Topps and Fanatics for a long period of time. So,
Forever.
so there's definitely maybe that's adding to the boost of baseball, and we'll definitely talk about that in the upcoming segment in the next video if you're watching here on Mojobreak Media. But make sure you guys hit subscribe and what your thoughts are on this UEFA deal. If you're happy to see that Topps has it, if you're more of a fan of the Topps soccer products compared to the Panini products, let us know below here on the comments. Hit subscribe and hit that notification so you'll know when we pop up with a new video. And we're breaking soccer all the time. We just did Chrome Bundesliga, Chrome Sapphire Bundesliga today. We've got all kinds of stuff on the pipeline for soccer. We got the Prism Soccer we're doing as well. So check out mojobreak.com for those breaks.